Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about some coil machines. We have the Vlad Blad Pro line of coils. So this is the fine liner. The next one is the infinite liner. And then this one is the blacker packer. Each one is specifically geared towards a certain style and technique in tattooing. I'm going to go over all of that in a minute. But thank you to Vlad Blad for sending these out for a review. I do appreciate the support of the channel, but as always, I will be giving you my honest opinion of my experience with these machines. To start out, each one of these machines is $575, or if you want to get the full set, that's $1,725, which is a really great price for 3 machines altogether if you compare it to the leading rotaries on the market. The Bishop Power Wand and the Critical Torque are both $1,300 a piece. The Cheyenne Sol Nova is $1,000. The Acus M1 is $1,200, and even compared to Vlad Blad's flagship rotary, which is the Vlad Blad Avenger 3 Pro, that is $1,400. Not to mention, when I looked at the product information for these coils, there's a 25-year-long warranty for the original owner. Now, comparing that to a rotary, I've never seen a warranty go for over a year. So let's talk about some of the features. I just fact-checked myself, and the longest rotary warranty I was able to find was 3 years, so. Today's video giveaway is a clip cord from Vlad Blad and a sticker pack from Vlad Blad. All you have to do to win this is leave your Instagram handle down in the video comments, and I'm going to go through and randomly pick a winner. I will only be messaging you from my one and only Instagram, which is tattoosbytyler_st. I will not be asking you for shipping or any type of money. This is completely free, so please beware of scammers. So the two standout ones that just kind of jump out at me as soon as I look at these machines is the RCA connection right here, along with the clip cord connection if you wanted to use that, and then also the needle bar stabilizer, so then that way you don't have to use rubber bands anymore. All 3 of these machines have a steel frame. Both of the liners weigh 199 grams, and then the blacker packer weighs 212 grams. If you're somebody that's been using pen machines and you're not used to weight, this may seem like a lot to be holding in the back of your hand, but actually the weight does help you to tattoo more efficiently, so don't be scared of the weight. The way to tell the difference between all 3 of these machines is the armature bar, unless of course you have different colors. This is the fine liner right over here, and this has a thinner armature bar, opposed to the infinite liner. This has a thicker armature bar. So when you're going to pick up your machines, that's a really easy way to tell. And then the blacker packer has a unmistakably large armature bar. This thing is thick and reminds me of Thor's hammer. They all definitely sound different, so I'll show you that as well. I'm going to hook all these up at 6 volts. I do run them all slightly different, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But this is the fine liner at 6 volts. Then this is the infinite liner at 6 volts. And this is the biggest difference in sound. This is the blacker packer at 6 volts. Something I was really excited about with these machines was this RCA connection on the side. This is something that I'd be able to use my RCA cable with, and also batteries, which I thought would be really cool, a wireless coil, but there are a few things worth mentioning. The first time I used a cable with it, I turned on the machine, and within a couple minutes the machine turned off. Now, after further inspection, the vibration from the machine moved the RCA connector, and it basically vibrated it off to where it was just kind of sitting on the top like this. So I had to take this off and use a pair of needle nose pliers to tighten up this outside ring on the connector, and now it fits really snug on the machine and it doesn't vibrate off at all. So if you have one of these and you plan on using an RCA cable, I would test out the connection before you start tattooing. The next thing I was really excited about with this RCA was using batteries on the top, but using the critical battery, as you can see, it doesn't go all the way on, and the battery just hits the hardware on the top of the machine. I also tried to use This one from Easy Tattoo Supply, it does the same thing. So the only battery that I was able to get to fit on this was the battery from the Ava EP7 Plus with the added connector that comes with the machine. And when you put it on, you can see that the taper from the adapter just misses the hardware on the machine. So I'm going to turn this on because I haven't crimped down this connector just yet. I'm going to show you how this kind of just vibrates off of the machine. So you see within 5 seconds it pushed it off just with the vibration. And lastly, before I get into my individual experience with each machine and what they're good for, I'm going to show you how I set this machine up and what I think about this vise and needle bar tensioner. So once you loosen up your vise, the needle tensioner will be able to move. And then you just kind of take your needle bar and feed it up through the center. And you can put your tube right in. Sometimes I'll have a problem with getting my tube into this vise, and I just have to take my scissors and push it over a little bit. Once it's loose, it just kind of gets stuck up in there. I did see something in the manual about lubricating that, so in that way it goes in and out easier, but I did want to leave it just for this review. This is the only machine that does that. These other two, it just goes right over. All right, so once you have your needle where you want it, set the depth. I kind of just lightly tighten this to where this tensioner is still able to move a little bit, but my tube isn't going to move. And then once I have it like that, I just push the tensioner onto the bar and give it the tension that I want, the same that I would use with a rubber band. And then once it's at that point, you just tighten the vise down all the way, and this is fixed, and so is the grip. And it does sound slightly different when you have it all loaded up. So this is what it sounds like at 6 volts. This is a 5-liner. With rotaries, I'm used to bagging up the whole machine and it doesn't mess with the function of the machine at all. But I found when I bag up a coil, it kind of could mess with the armature bar, and I don't know, I just didn't like the way it felt. So I've been using barrier film to wrap certain areas of the coils up. I'm going to show you how I do that right now. So I sort of just get the barrier film and place it on the outside of the frame and then wrap it around to where it's stuck to the coils. And lastly, I just get a smaller piece and I just put it over the vise screw, so in that way I'm able to adjust my machine. I can grab here and here without touching the actual machine. I know a lot of people won't wrap their coils at all, but I don't know, I'm just OCD and I feel like I need to wrap things up because safety, you know. So before we wrap up, let me go and talk about my individual experience with each one of these machines. This is the fine liner, and this is the one that I've been using the most out of all three. This is good for 3 liners up to 9 liners, and I've mostly been using it for 5 round shaders and 7 round shaders, and that's what I line with. I usually line right around 5.5 to 6 volts. You can see that these 2 coils are different sizes. The front one is a 9 wrap and the back one is a 7 wrap. And I've been able to get really fast lines. They've been really saturated, and I've been more efficient, I feel, since I started using this opposed to rotaries. I've also found that I've been doing less damage to the skin while lining, which is definitely a welcome change. Next, let's talk about the infinite liner. This liner is good for 7 to 18 liners. I've been only using this for 18 round shaders and lining with those for super thick lines. This is the same type of setup with the coils. You have the 9 wrap and then the 7 wrap on the back, but you do have the thicker armature bar up top, which gives it a little bit more of a hit. This I've been lining at around 6.5 to 7 volts, and the same thing with the fine liner. The infinite liner has been giving me really great results with moving really quickly with thicker liners. I've been doing less damage to the skin, and I definitely feel more efficient with this. Lastly, let's talk about the Blacker Packer. This, on their website, they say is good for any type mag all the way up to a 49 mag, which I have not tested mag up that size just because I don't use those. I've mostly been using this with a 15 curve mag, and this thing packs black, it packs solid color, it whip shades really efficiently. I love the way this thing works. I feel like it does less damage to the skin, and it just gets the ink in there really, really well. I'm usually using this at around 6.5 to 7 volts, and this has two 9-wrap coils on it. So all three of these machines I've really enjoyed. There were a few things that I nitpicked with the RCA. I wish this was slightly different, to where you're able to put batteries on it, maybe if it's up a little bit higher or something like that, just so this hardware is not getting in the way. But overall, I've had a great experience with these coils. I think that people have been stuck in rotary land for the last, however many years, myself included, and I'm slightly disappointed that I haven't switched back to coils sooner. I'm finding that I'm just a lot faster. I've shaved a lot of time off of, say an outline that would have taken me, 4 hours with rotary. I'm now down to maybe like 2.5 hours with it, just because these just work so much better. So if you have been only using rotaries, I do encourage you to try out some coils, get some quality coils, and they're going to be tuned really nicely for you, and you should have no problem doing what you want to do. Yes, they are more heavy. Yes, they are louder, but I think the result kind of just speaks for itself. So that's it for me. I'm going to be using different coils in the coming months and years, and I'll definitely keep you guys updated. I'm still going to be using rotaries, and that's only going to be for more specific things, and maybe I'll make a video going into that on what I think coils and rotaries would be best for. Next, within the next couple months, I'm going to be testing out the Vlad Blad Airline. This is just the little brother to these machines. There are some key differences that I'll get into. I have not really tested these two out very much, just because I've been busy using these, but keep an eye out for a review on these within the next couple months. So if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, leave them down in the video comments below. If not, I hope this video is helpful to you, and I hope that you have a good day. See ya.